A marvelous day, grade 8 talented learners. How are you today? I hope that all of you are doing great. By the way, I'm Sir Michael Brian P. Molano from Citero Francisco Memorial National High School, your TLE live stream teacher for today. Before we start, make sure that you have your self-learning modules for you to be more guided. Are you ready? Great, let's get started. We are now on week 5 under the exploratory course, Food Fish Processing for the third quarter. For the learning competency of the lesson, we are expected to perform mathematical computation, and under learning outcome 3, you are going to calculate the production input and output, and in doing this, you're expected to 3.1, compute for the percentage equivalence of actual spoilage and rejects. And 3.2, calculate the percentage of actual yields and recoveries according to enterprise requirements. With the learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, the learners are expected to identify the different methods in food processing, perform and follow the steps in making bagoong alamang, and appreciate the importance of prolonging the shelf life of food fish processing. Let's first have a short review about what we have discussed in the last week's lesson through red flag or green flag. In this test, you were going to read and analyze the following statement, then identify if each statement is correct. If yes, comment green flag. And if no, comment red flag. You will have 5 seconds to answer for each number. Allow me to read each statement for you. For number 1, 1,000 milligrams is equivalent to 1 gram. Is it a green flag or a red flag? Please comment down. Time's up. The answer is green flag. Good job. For number 2, 120 centimeters is shorter than 12 millimeters. Is it a green flag or a red flag? Please comment down. Time's up. The answer is red flag. Very good. For number 3, 1,500 milliliters is equal to 1.5 liters. Is it a green flag or a red flag? Please comment below. Time's up. If your answer is green flag, then awesome. For question number 4, 63 millimeters is longer than 6 centimeters. Is it a green flag or a red flag? Please comment down. Time's up. The answer is green flag. Very good. For question number 5, 110 degrees Celsius is equal to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it a green flag or a red flag? Please comment down. Time's up. Now, the answer is green flag. Perfect. Now, I am confident that you learned a lot last discussion. Next, let me assess first how much you already know about our lesson. Let's have this multiple choice. In this test, you will going to read and analyze each question. Then, choose the best answer. You will be given 5 seconds to comment the letter of your answer. Are you ready? Let's start. For question number 1, what is the equivalent weight of 1 cup salt in grams? Is it A, 220 grams, B, 230 grams, C, 240 grams, or letter D, 250 grams? And you have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. The answer is letter A. It's 220 grams. Very good. For question number 2, this is the ratio applied in dry salting to make a brine. A, 1:1. B, 1:2. C, 1:3. Or letter D, 1:4. And you have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. The answer is letter D. It's 1:4. You are awesome. For question number 3, if you buy 1/4 of kilo of sugar to be used in pickling, how much this in grams? Is it A, 250 grams, B, 260 grams, C, 270 grams, or letter D, is it 280 grams? And you have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. And the answer is letter A. Very good. That's 250 grams. For question number 4, what do you call to the number of finished products after computing for the production input and output? Is it A, average cost, B, input, C, output, or letter D, is it yield? And you have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. The answer is letter D. It's yield. Very good. For question number 5, your mother asked you to buy 1 kilogram of fish for daing na bangus. How many grams are there in 1 kilogram? A, 500 grams, B, 1,000 grams, C, 2,000 grams, or letter D, 2,500 grams. And you have 5 seconds to answer. Time's up. And the answer is letter B. It's 1,000 grams. Very good. Good job, everyone. Later in our discussion, you will discover why you are correct or incorrect. How many of you got 5 and 4? Very good. It means that you have already prior knowledge about our lesson. For those who got 3 and below, please be more attentive, for you will have a lot more to learn ahead. Let's add your knowledge with this trivia. Did you know that the Philippines is one of the home to the world's richest marine biodiversity, including 4,900 species of marine plants and animals, 28% of which are economically important, and 10% flagship species, meaning there are a lot of species still being discovered in the oceans of the Philippines. Because of rich resource of fish in our country, it provided food to the millions of Filipinos. Despite of the resources that we have, there is one problem that we can encounter, and this is food or fish wasting. In fish industry, fish wasting or food wasting is one of the main problems that our fishermen are trying to address. And one day, they have discovered a way to avoid spoilage and deterioration of food and fish. Do you have an idea on how can we avoid fish wasting? Please comment down. Yes, you are right. We can apply different fish processing methods such as drying, canning, salting, and of course, chilling. For example, in chilling, you will just put ice on it or you can put it inside the chiller. Because of the cold temperature, it will slow the action of enzymes and bacteria, and as a result, it will extend the shelf life of the fish. Because of these methods, it helps a lot of families not only to avoid food wasting, but also it added additional way to earn money and to have business. And also, to avoid food wasting in our home or business, it is a green flag to gather data about raw materials and ingredients that we will need to compute for the production, input, and output of the finished product. Here are the examples of data that are gathered based on the products to be done. For making a pickled vegetables, we need the following: sugar, 250 grams, vinegar, 250 ml, salt, 15 grams, carrots, 150 grams, sayote, 250 grams, bell pepper, 75 grams, garlic, 50 grams, ginger, 50 grams, and onion, which is 75 grams. And remember, pickles should be made from young, fresh vegetables and fruit. Vinegar and whole spices and herbs, fabulously pickled products are the result of quality ingredients, proper proportion, and carefully followed recipes. In making mango jam, only use the freshest ripe mangoes and make sure they're in good condition because mangoes can easily bruise, especially when they are ripe. In making mango jam, we will need of 1 cup of mango pulp, 1 cup of 3/4 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of calamansi juice. In making a fermented fish, we will need to have a fish alamang that is 4 kilos and a kilo of salt. And remember, for every cooking process that we will do, we can avoid having spoilage or rejects. Spoilage is a wastage or loss of material that occurs during the manufacturing process. It can also be used to classify badly damaged materials that is used for processing a product. Can you identify the spoilage for each product? Of course, you can. Let's start with these pickled vegetables. What do you think are the spoilage? Yes, you were correct. These are skins or peels and seeds of the vegetables that has been used such as sayote, garlic, onion, carrots, bell pepper, and etc. How about in a mango jam? What will be the spoilage? Yes, you are right. Spoilage refers to the peels and seeds of the mango. And in fermented fish, these are the intestinal organs, small seashell, small stone, or seaweeds are the spoilage. Let us know also the yield and the formula how to get the percentage yields. Yield is the number of finished product after computing for the production, output, and input. The formula for getting the percentage yield is percent yield equal to the production input over production output multiplied by 100. We should also monitor the data in production output, input, actual spoilage, rejects, actual yields or recoveries, because it will keep us updated to the progress of our product. We need to determine if we are not wasting raw materials and resources, and we are going to meet the goals in the production output. At the same time, this will be the basis for determining the production of whatever products to be done or processed. Now, we already know the importance of keeping a record and gathering data about ingredients. Let us study one of the recipes we have. Let us discuss all about bagoong alamang or bagoong isda. First, we must identify what are the ingredients in making it. First, we need to have 1 kilogram fresh alamang or dilis, 3/4 cup of salt, and sterilized jar with lid cover. Then, let us discuss the procedure in making bagoong alamang or isda. First is to wash alamang, but do not squeeze. Then combine 1 kilo of alamang and 3/4 salt and mix well. After that, put the mixture in a sterilized glass jar and place the glass jar with a mixture in a dry place inside the fridge and let it ferment to 7 to 10 days. That's it. Now, you have the knowledge on how we will going to make a bagoong alamang. Let's have a short recapitulation about the lesson for today. Remember that chilling is one common process to prolong the shelf life of the extremely perishable products. Aside from this, we should also put in our mind to know how to calculate and compute the production input and output of the product so that we can avoid wasting of raw materials and to make a mango jam, fermented fish, and pickled vegetables. We have also discussed different raw materials to make a mango jam, fermented fish, and pickled vegetables. We also defined actual spoilage or rejects, wherein it means that it is any waste material released due to normal processing. And lastly, we have discussed what is yield and the formula in getting the yield percentage. Now, let's have this enrichment activity entitled Complete Me. With the directions, identify the word that will complete to the sentence by choosing the right word inside the box. Write your answer in the comment section. You also have 5 seconds to answer each number. Are you ready? Great, let's start. For question number 1, the products left during blank are not classified as spoilage or rejects. You have 5 seconds. Time's up. And the correct answer is packing. Very good. For number 2, actual spoilage or rejects and their corresponding blank depend on the products to be made. Your timer starts now. Time's up. Now, if you answered percentage, then you are correct. For question number 3, yield refers to the number of blank after computing for the output and input. Your timer starts now. Time's up. If your answer is finished products, nice, then you are correct. For number 4, report or records will be the basis for determining the blank of whatever products to be done on process. Your timer starts now. Time's up. If your answer is progress, amazing. For question number 5, data gathering on raw materials and blank is necessary in order to compute and calculate production input and output of the finished product. Your timer starts now. Time's up. If your answer is ingredients, then you are doing great. For the second activity, you need to arrange the following steps in making bagoong alamang or isda correctly. You may write 1 for the first step, 2 for the second step, 3 for the third step, and so on. You'll be having 10 seconds to answer and to type your answer on the chat box. Are you ready? Of course, you are ready. Let's start arranging it. And you have 10 seconds to answer. Go. Time's up. And the correct arrangement is ferment to 7 to 10 days is number 6. Put the mixture in a sterilized glass jar is number 4. Place the glass jar with a mixture to a dry place or inside the fridge is number 5. Mix well is step number 3. Combine 1 kilo of alamang and 3/4 cup of salt is step 2. And then the first step to be done is wash alamang but also do not press or squeeze. Job well done, learners. I am now confident and sure that you already mastered our topic for today. For your assignment, you will be needed to perform and follow the procedure in making fermented fish or bagoong. Have a selfie with your output and let your parents or guardian evaluate your output using the criteria given. Palatability, which is 30%, process use and preservation, 25%, products presentation and packaging, 15%, use of tools and equipment, 10%, sanitation procedure, methods, and safely work habits, 10%, and ability to present the process is 10%, a total of 100%. That's all for today, class. Always remember, you have to look at the future with the possibility that everything will turn out well. This has been Sir Michael. Thank you for listening and participating. God bless and keep safe always. Goodbye, class.